Yeah.
All right. So you guys ready to get into this?
Yep.
Do the first one?
Absolutely.
All right. So here, I'll just add this to the stream real quick.
Yep.
Are we going to give our ranks first?
Yeah, we'll talk about the episode, I guess, and then we'll give our quicker score for the episode. We'll work our way through and then end off with the ranking.
All right. So I did this. This episode 1 that we'll be talking about next is called Sith. And the little blurb on it is: a former Sith apprentice leading a peaceful but isolated life is confronted by the past when her old master tracks her down. And I guess I'll just do my little thoughts real quick. She seems to be hiding from her past from her old master. He confronts her. They fight. She wins. She rejects the Sith and then leaves the planet. That was my really quick. And to give a shout out to El Guri, so Gurir Studios. And this is out of Japan. Spain. I don't know why I almost said Japan. I meant Spain. Really weird that I did that. And this is a Spanish studio. So I guess what I will say, just to finish up since I'm going first, is I like the idea. It was cool. This was the one that took me out the most, which is bad that it was the first one because the art was so out there and it was so like in her head and so, I don't know, just crazy that it took me out a little bit. And I was kind of almost saying, could you please stop so I get a good look at this? Because I thought it looked kind of cool. Maybe I'm just not artisty enough. So yeah, that's what I would say about it, was that I think the story was cool. I liked it, especially when they kind of, toned down her daydreaming self. And I think that was kind of what it was supposed to be. And when the big bads show up, it picked up a lot, obviously. So that's my quick little 2 cents. And what did you think about this, Dave, or Kachung? Sorry, use your real name.
The government name.
Yeah, whatever. That's fine. I know. I really liked it. I thought it was a great, strong start to the series. I liked that she was light and dark. I think it really it was a big twist on the universe as a whole. Not just like a gray Jedi, but she was both, And I really enjoyed the animation. It's very different, and that's kind of how my brain works. So anything that's really off, out of the box, I love it straight away. So yeah, it was good. The Siths were really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was surprised by the 3 of them showing up.
All right, so what do you think, Canadian?
All the same. Like, the art was really cool, very stylized. I liked the idea in the episode, especially with like the apprentice, running away and then confronting the old master, killing him, and then going on. I felt like there could have been more going on in the episode. But overall, it was just good, nice, solid start. Pretty middle of the road for me.
Yeah, I would definitely say this is one of the ones that when I was making all these little clip things that you're seeing right now, it was one that, looking back on it after seeing everything, because, I was probably looking more like traditional anime. So when I went back and looked, I know I appreciated it a lot more just because of how different it actually was. Yeah. On like a second viewing, because when you first, you're sitting down, you're thinking, I'm going to see a very Japanese kind of anime. And then you see this, which I was like almost squinting trying to figure out what it was. So when I went back and looked at it a second time, I liked it a lot more.
As a note, for the first season, they basically did strictly Asian animation. So it had Japanese, Korean, and such. This time around, they basically opened up to a lot of the world. So you have English, Spanish, Japanese.
And different animation types.
And a lot more animation types opposed to just different variations of anime. Like a lot more, as you see as we go on, a lot more.
If I get it to stop on this guy. The one thing that I did like, as I really like this character, but I can't get to stop on the one that's like the actual clip.
Yeah,
I really like this. See, it's too fast. I really like this guy. I think they did a really good job with the bad guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Holy cow, got Star Wars royalty in here. How you doing, madam? I might mention this again later, just because I feel like it's important, and maybe when there's a few more people who are talking about it. We go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. When I was doing research for this, trying to find clips desperately, I think we were doing this a little too early because I'm used to be able to find clips a lot easier. This was pretty hard. I had to scour for hours looking for clips. I saw a lot of people questioning about if it was woke, if it was some kind of agenda. My issues with Star Wars, but despite my issue with Star Wars when it comes to stuff like that, I didn't find this to be that case. And we were talking about it beforehand. I think it's because it was made from around the world. So you take a lot of the American politics out of it and people were just making it. I think it's also disingenuous to say that Disney didn't ask them to put female characters forward, because I don't think 9 random studios from around the world would just randomly make mostly female leads. But I have no problem with that whatsoever. It was not forced. It was not in my face. I didn't roll my eyes once. I didn't say, what the hell? It was, if it was meant to have 4 lead characters, then bravo. You did a really good job telling 4 female or 9 female stories, or 8.5 female stories. That you just did a good job writing decent stories that made me enjoy it. And that's what I've been asking for. I'd say bravo. You did a fantastic job. Do more of this, please. Don't make it so in your face. Just make it a great story. And I thought it was great. I liked the cultural part of it. I think also because those people were telling their own cultural stories. So when they did add their culture, we'll see an Indie one later that I thought was really cool, the India one. And I think it's because, again, I hate to say it, because I think that those people are making their own stories, and I think it really lends itself well to this kind of medium, and I enjoyed it. So I didn't see the boogeyman behind the bush woke agenda. I just saw, and if it was, then they did a great job, because I didn't once roll my eyes or anything. I thought it was pretty cool, and I thought it was a great job telling stories. So
yeah, there were a lot. I did see a lot of comments of whiny people.
Yeah.
Regarding that.
Oh, you muted.
Sorry, 1 second.
I know. I thought it was very varied in their production.
Yeah.
Stories were all so different. There was always a Star Wars theme, and you could figure out that it was in the universe somewhere and had some connection with whatever the Force or. Yeah.
Oh. Let's say that first one.
Look out.
I'm gonna spoil that.
Yeah, and I'll give them a little bit of grace, the people who went straight to the wine part of it. As Jenna's saying here.
Yeah. Again,
I mean,
one of those things where if the story's good, it doesn't matter exactly the characters' backgrounds. If the story,
I would say,
if the story lends to the characters being well written, the show will be good.
Disney kind of did it to themselves, because they have done it in the past. When people said, "Hey, how come?" They immediately attack people. Oh, you're sexist, you're racist, you're this and that. But I would definitely say anybody who said that, I would believe, probably didn't watch it and just saw who the lead was in each one and made assumptions and didn't actually watch it. That's what I would have to assume. Either that, or you're too far down the street now and you can't come back. Like it's just too much. Because if you watched it, like I said, I went into it going, oh, here we go. And then I enjoyed every single one of them. My only complaint, very small complaint, it's not a complaint, because I have a daughter. My son watches these with me. And at the end of it, I thought they did such a good job of telling some sister, daughter, or sister, big sister, little sister, mother and daughter stories. I'd have been like, it'd been kind of cool if they did just a for sure dad, son one, so we could kind of give each other that little funny look, smile. But oh well, like there's enough, dad and son stories out there.
We'll do a season 3.
Like I said, I got a daughter, so I enjoyed that part of it as well. All right, so we're on to number.
Do we
2.
want to give a score for each episode as we go?
Oh yeah, you can do that.
I might give things away.
What? Okay, you know what?
Yeah, we can do it at the end. Yeah,
we'll save it for the end. Yeah, good idea.
All right. Episode 2 is Screecher's Reach. A young girl seeking reprieve from her days in a rural workhouse discovers a legendary haunted cave with her friends. The cave's dark pool will change the trajectory of her life forever. A cool take on the old ghost story with a twist at the end. Cartoon. Oh, and it's Cartoon Saloon from Ireland. So this is an Ireland one. It's probably the reason why it's amazing, because it's from Ireland. I'm just going to say that put out there. My people do a good job.
Yeah.
Ketchupers! What's happening, Ketchup?
We're going to get insights.
It's hilarious. When I heard the accents of the way, I was like, that's Scottish Irish. And then as soon as they said certain words, immediately I was like, oh, that's Irish right there. But, yeah.
I would say, just spoiler alert, I would say, and I'm only giving you guys just a little taste of the thing. There's 2 reasons for that. When you see it, say, I'll go ahead and put it up here now. There's two reasons for that. One, Disney. You know, I love you. We've had our issues. You love to attack me all the time and give me. I'm just a small town, bird lawyer, man. Leave me alone. I do it very small amounts because Disney looks for a reason to hit me with stuff, and so I'm doing a small amount. Plus, I kind of want you to see this yourself. So I'm just giving you a little bit of
these
taste.
Episodes are short, so they're like 15.
Yeah, I'm giving you this a little bit of taste of the animation, so you can kind of see for yourself. So you can please go watch it.
Yeah.
So So what did I say about this one? I didn't say anything. Here we go. A cool. That was me actually. Cool take on an old ghost story with the twist at the end. And we'll save the twist at the end, obviously, probably, so people can watch it. But I really like this one. I think, like I was saying earlier, spoiler alert, this seems to be the consistency of what people like the most. This seems to be most people's first pick as their favorite. I can see why. I like the factory.
Online. Yeah.
Oh, you're okay. I like the factory part of it. I thought that the animation was really cool at the beginning, just showing the toiling away. Obviously, once she enters the cave and we have a ghost here that seems to be more than what they thought she was. Obviously, some of these are beautiful. Like some of this is ridiculous, but yeah. So I thought it was great. A good old fashioned ghost story. Some kids, they're working away at a factory. Poor kids. That's kind of what you want to see too. These are little bitty kids working at a factory. Right. They get each other hyped up to go to a cave and go find this ghost. And so they're bored. So let's go find the ghost, and the shenanigans go from there. So I enjoyed it very much. So Hoosier, what did you think about it?
I was going to say, I kept myself out of the dark online to what people thought were the best or the worst. I basically wanted to avoid that, to not like sway my opinion. Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought this was great. The artwork surprised me. I remember when they first showed off like snippets or like they showed pictures, and I saw this, I was like, looks good. But seeing it in motion, how they animate it, gorgeous. The story was great too. Nice, sweet, and simple. And I guess we'll talk about the twist during the ranking because it's pretty important. But for now, I won't give it away. I thought it was a great thing they did.
All right. What did you think, Kachung?
I mean, I got to say, it got better. So at the start, I was like, okay, child labor, great. The animation I did, it got me. It was really, I thought it was pretty good. Once he got to the witch, it was kind of like awesome. But yeah, as I said, it got better.
I like that.
It grew on me.
But this is number 2. You're missing nothing.
Interesting. That's for sure.
And I've only seen them all once. So I think if I went through and watched them all again, I might change the order of my...
That happened with the first season with you, didn't it?
Yeah. It did.
Yeah.
Plus, as we know, some of you might not know, Kachun cannot be disappointed. So there's no such thing as disappointing him.
You have no zeros.
No zeros on him. No zeros on my end either.
All right. So, like I said, for Butter just got in here, we're just on the second one. There's 9, I think. And this is a good old fashioned ghost story. These little children here working at a factory, they get hyped up to get to go to the scary witch/ghost cave and go exploring. And then that's what you see right there. All right. Let me add the next one because this is going to be better than what I was doing before. So that way we can talk while it's playing.
Yeah.
All right.
And again, these...
Oh, I got to mute this one. Sorry, Disney. Sorry. Don't get mad.
And again, at the end, if you miss any of these, at the end of our reviews, we're going to give a ranking of them all. So that's going to be our fun comparing each other's rankings, see where we sit at. Because the first season was pretty... Some of our choices between each other was controversial, where some of our favorites were on the bottom of everyone's list. So...
Yeah,
I would definitely say this to me isn't as wide of a I really like that. I really did not like that. To me, none of these were like this. This overall was just different for me.
Very different one.
All right. So this episode 3, this is in the stars. It basically goes 2 sisters, the last of their kind who live in hiding on their ravaged land, squabble about how to survive with the empire encroaching. On a water run, the sisters must fight back when the elders discovered. And my take from it was cool take on the last. Cool take when there's only one person left alive and taking on a very powerful, bigger group. And it's very sad, is what I said. And this is from Punk Robot in Chile.
I was going to ask you which country that was in. It seemed very Native American almost, or Mesoamerican roots. And that makes sense, I find.
Yeah.
Though you had one complaint about Kenobi, my friend. I can sit here and give you a lot more than one. They showed the girl follow Leia to a small tunnel somehow and got in front of without seeing her. You should go back and look at our review. I can give you a whole lot more continuity errors than that. Just on that one scene, there was about 7 of them. Kenobi's my all-time favorite. And it broke my heart talking about that one. All right, so here's the thing. I really was not expecting this art style when it came out. So when it did, I immediately kind of set up and looked. I'm very curious to what Kachung thinks about the TIE fighters, because I know that's his jam right there, and I thought it was a cool take on them. What I liked about this immediately, there's only this one and one other one, that the bad guy is freaking bad. There's no excuse for them being bad. They're just pieces of crap. And I think right now, especially in Star Wars, it seems to be like, well, they're bad, but gosh darn it, their daddy was mean to them when they were kids. No, they're just bad. Like, this is just bad people.
There was a couple episodes like that.
Well, what I mean is overall, the people's bad. Like, there's like a dark Jedi that shows up in a couple of them. Yeah. But this was the ones that I liked because of that. And then when you actually think about it, because I didn't really catch it at first. But what it basically seeing here, and I will say this, even though it's a little bit of spoilerish, but not really. So this sand they have, it lights up and dances when the stars are out. And what I did not realize until towards the end was that they're it. There's no one else. Like, they are the last of their people. Everyone on this planet is gone except for them. Mm-hmm. The Empire has killed everyone, and it's just 2 sisters trying to survive. And they literally have to sneak on the base just to get water. So yeah, that's it. So Dave, what did you think? Because I'm interested about the art style and your TIE fighter thing.
It's almost like claymation, right? Mm-hmm. It was pretty cool. I guess after 75 episodes, you know me. Because my first note is TIE Fighter was awesome.
There it is. You're the first one I thought about when I seen that thing fly in there. Yeah. I was like, oh, I think Dave might like that. He's either going to love it or hate it. I don't know how he's going to hate it.
TIE Fighter. I did love those snowtroopers too. Like,
yeah.
I thought they were a little out of place, but they still looked awesome. Yeah. No, I definitely liked this one. Mm-hmm. It was
that is true.
Look at all the different Jedi and the Jedi Order. You'll know that most of them were not nice.
Most of them had some extremely iffy situations going on in their lives.
It's an interesting point about, the bad characters in Star Wars these days being kind of like anti-heroes or something,
Yeah. Redeeming. All of them have redeeming qual.
Yeah.
This is where our culture is now. We don't really like just heroes, and we like John Wicks. We don't like John Waynes anymore. You know what I mean? We like the bad. We like the bad good guys.
We really do need more Palpatines.
Yes.
And I think Thrawn will be a good addition. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah, it was a good episode. The animation was better than the story for me. But we'll see where it ranks later.
Yeah.
All right. And Canadian, where are you at?
Oh, I'll be playing devil's advocate here. I like the story. I thought it was nice. The animation, while I like claymation a lot. Their version of claymation was good. I will say though, while watching the episode, especially near the fight scenes, it hurt to watch. It felt very, it felt like it was a little not enough frames. It was very, very skippy between. It was actually giving me a headache watching it.
Oh wow! Nice.
I think it should. I think they should. I like the animation style, especially when it was like It was like the moments with the sisters.
You want to look at this one more time? You sure? Did you get a good look? You want to look one more time at the TIE fighter coming in?
I'm saying when it sped up, when it got faster, it was a little too choppy for me. But
okay, I get that.
I did like the where you're showing it right there, the cave drawing arts when they went to that part. I like that a lot. That was a good highlight for me. It was mostly just the choppy animation that really got me. That was probably
the Empire to me looked amazing. Like I thought they looked really good.
They did look great. Like again, the art was great. Story I liked probably a lot as well, but the choppy animation really got to me at times.
Yeah, it's weird. You're gonna see. Obviously,
there's another one that was also like.
There's a lot more famous animation studio coming in who does like the cream of the crop animation. So it's a lot different.
There's two other stop motion style shorts later on, and both of them I felt did the stop motion better. So
I think so. This took me back to remember that old show Gumby.
Yeah, actually,
it is kind of.
That's a really
it
good,
is a little jumpy like that. No, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, Gumby.
It looks good, but it's like a little too rough.
All right, let me get the next one in here. What is the next one? What number are we on? 5? 4.
4.
Number 4. Actually, episode 4. Yes. This is the claymation experts now.
Right.
Yeah, not Gumby. All right, let me pause this.
It's the
actually I can play it while I tell you.
Okay.
All right, so this is episode 4. I am your mother. Young pilot Annie, who is embarrassed by her sweet but clingy mum, must team with her for a Mad Cat family race at the academy. Along the way, relationship is tested by the elements, their old ship, other racers, each other. And I said I felt like this was Disney Junior all the way.
Yeah.
But we might have needed a funny kind of lighthearted one is my take on this one. I feel like you could watch this on Disney Junior every day, all day. I really liked it. I mean, I don't know how long these studios have to make this stuff. So none of these stories are like unique. Like you kind of knew what's going to happen in most of the stories before they finished out. This one, the most of the one. But I still thought it was very cute. I liked it a lot. Obviously, the studio who does this knows what the hell they're doing. You probably can't even recognize who this is.
Yeah, the studio of Wallace and Gromit fame.
Yeah, this is Wallace and Gromit. They know what they're doing. It looks really good. We had I'll let Hoosier tell you who we had a celebrity at the beginning that was completely shocking. I had to tell myself twice.
Very amazing, yeah.
I'm glad that people know as a reference. People I know have a reference to Gumby. Hey, listen, some of us on this panel are old, and some of us ain't. I'm just gonna put that out there. 2 of us are a little bit older, and the other one ain't so old. But I'm not gonna say which ones are which. So I thought it was good. I thought it was great. If it had been like 4 that were for children, I might be a little more harsh on some of them just because it was silly, but it was like very predictable. And so it really felt like this is Disney Junior, and my kids when they were way younger would have laughed at it. Like that's my only takeaway from that. Doesn't mean I didn't like it. All right, let's go, Hoosier. What's your take on this?
Yeah, I like this. I knew going into this, I was probably going to like this one, but I like this one for sure. Has the most humor of all of them. And I liked how clever they were. Some of the like the fun in jokes with the Death Star coming out of the one ship for attacking and some of the subtle jokes. But my obviously the funniest moment or funniest thing they could have ever done here was have Wedge Antilles be here. Voiced by the actor for Wedge Antilles, who notably does not like coming back to Star Wars for stuff because frumpy about that. Like it took them a lot of effort to get him back for episode 9 for literally 3 seconds of screen time, and they got him here to voice Wedge and make probably one of the funniest jokes where he goes talking about the race and everything. Like, oh, by the way, buy my merch over there. My merch store is over there.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I will just say really quick before we go on, I didn't say it, but if you haven't realized, this is from the UK. If you're gonna watch it, you're gonna know it's from the UK almost immediately because of the jokes and stuff. Aardman Animations is the studio, and like I said, I shouldn't even have to tell you what country this is from. Should have been rather obvious that, but if you watched it, you would know even more. So just because of the jokes and the silliness. All right, Kachung, what you got?
Yeah, it was fun. It wasn't terrible like that band musical one in the first season. But I like that mini Death Star gun. That was pretty cool. And the Wookiee was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It just didn't jump out at me. But for obvious reasons, I think it's just directed at small children. So
yeah,
for that reason, it's good. And did you notice the mom of the evil mother and daughter? She looked kind of like one of those characters from Despicable Me.
Well, I thought obviously you look at the ship going like the Vader look too as well. The hair being like Vader's helmet. Yeah.
It was very Star Wars, very very British on the nose humor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which if you like British humor, you probably would really enjoy that. All right, so let's just keep a truck in here.
Mm-hmm.
That was number 4, I believe. So we're on 5. And I'll let this play. I'm planning to start from the beginning, though, because I was making sure these work.
This one reminded me of Astro Boy. I wrote Astro Boy.
Here we go.
This one reminds you of Astro Boy. We had Astro Boy in the last season, and you didn't like that one. So
Sure didn't.
You just see where I'm at with this one.
All right. Episode 5 is Journey to the Dark Head. Hopeful mechanic and disillusioned young Jedi team up for a risky and unlikely quest to turn the tide of the galactic war, but dark forces tail them. Cool story, great visuals. What I have, I'm gonna tell you right now, after watching a bunch of really, really weird and creepy and gross South Korean dystopian zombie stuff and everything, the South Koreans are trying to get on a good side. I really like this. I like the art. This is kind of what I was expecting it more to be. I thought it was neat. I thought it was interesting. At the beginning, we see this kind of religion that is obviously something going on with the Force, but they're not Jedi. They seem to be like, listen, the Jedi will always fight, and the people that fight the Jedi are always going to fight, and we have to be above that, not concern ourselves with what goes on with that, because we do other things here. So I found that very, very interesting. That guy has some kind of like get over here. That was all about. It was interesting. And this is from Studio Mir, MIR, and South Korea. And I thought it was pretty cool. That would be my take on it. What do you think, Kachung?
It was great. Those heads were freaking awesome.
Yeah, I paused it right there, or I stopped it right there because I did like that little head thing.
There were two like joined together, and I thought it was a very strong story. Animation was up my alley because from Astro Boy days when I was a kid. Oh, I guess Battle of the Planets, but there's another one that's kind of like Battle of the Planets. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it. It was good.
And the Canadian, what did you think?
Yeah, overall, I thought it was a good episode too. Animation was clean, very classic, just Japanese style animation. I liked seeing some of that Jedi stuff at the temple and them pushing this kid who got basically traumatized, and then telling him to go out in the field, do this mission, and the villain was a good villain too, just kind of teasing and doing his thing. And I liked how at the end of it, it didn't really, it didn't end like you think it would have, where so and so happens. It kind of ended surprisingly, I would just say, without spoiling it.
Yeah.
Yep. I thought it was great. We'll keep trucking along at the end. If you guys we haven't heard us, we're going to rank them and say what the score was.
Yep.
I'm starting to think that the one of us that can't be disappointed is going to end up having the lowest scores on some of these from some of his responses.
I'm really
That's
curious with it's gonna be a messed up ranking for sure. It's gonna be all of it's gonna be all over the place. Nothing's gonna make sense.
It always is. What are you up to, Steve?
All right.
Why dance?
Here are
On
on
episode
to number 6. Let me do that one real quick. This is the spy dancer. The premier dancer at a famous Imperial frequented cabaret uses her unique skill set to spy for the rebellion. But the presence of a mysterious officer threatens to derail her mission. Great classic spy story with a hard twist at the end. It was from Studio La, I don't know, Cachette. I don't know. I don't know how to do France. La Cachette, France. This is a Frenchy one.
You couldn't tell it was
So
the French?
everybody gives up at the end. They say no more fighting it. No, I'm just playing. They didn't do that. So yeah, I thought this was cool. The art was like cool in some places, and in some places it was kind of weird. It leaned really heavily on she would fly around like that with her flowing robes, and what she actually had was about 7,000. Way too big. They should have been able to see them tracker beacons that she was throwing on everybody because they were about the size of
a little too.
They were a little big, but it was still cool. And so basically, what she did was, I mean, you can take it for whatever you will. If you want to make it a movie that was made for HBO, her and the young lady that's with her would probably be doing a lot more than just dancing to get this information from the from the Empire. But as far as this go, they just danced, they charmed them, they did whatever they could to get as much information out of them. And then this gentleman right here, he was the one they were feeding the information to. I thought it was great. It was the one for me that felt like I enjoyed it, but it felt like this is episode 1 of like a 3 or 4 part series. Like that's what it felt to me because you're seeing a lot of them just dancing, which is great. It was showing off their ability to do animation. But I was like, okay. And then when it actually kind of started getting to the story was over. So I was like, okay, well then I guess we're gonna see how this goes on episode 2. But there is no episode 2. This is it. So that I guess that's my take on it. I mean, I liked it, but I don't know. What did you think, Hoosier?
I really like this one. I thought I saw the anime. When I saw
before you do that judging, I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said it felt like the story was needing to be told, which is good. That means I wanted to know about the characters.
I know. I was laughing at that. But when I first saw the animation, like just a still of one of the images, I was like, this is probably going to be like, I don't like this. But then, once I saw the episode start, I really enjoyed it. I thought the animation was very smooth, unique. The story was fun. Also, gave me very hard Inglourious Bastards vibes. With the French girl and the officer, the German officer and whatnot. Which was, I wonder if that was intentional or not. It was very reminiscent there. The twist was also very good. I was kind of surprised. But at the same time, like it's not surprising. And it was just overall really good. Like I said, almost would like to see more of this too.
All right. And I just want to point out right before that, can we get a shout out to the fact they got the Chunky Boys representing the Chunky Boys and the Stormtroopers suit. I've always said I wanted to dress as a Stormtrooper, but I'm a big fella. I can't get in a troop. And now I know. Now Ka-Chung, who does this stuff. There is
such thing as representation in Star Wars. You know that.
Let me tell you something. Listen here. Now they can say, well, you're kind of big for a Stormtrooper, ain't you? I said, you must not have watched Star Wars Visions because that's who I am. That's me.
Right.
Like, I'm cosplaying as him.
Right. But you're paying for materials because that's a lot more foam than the other guy.
All right, Ka-Chung, what'd you think?
Yeah, it's funny you should say that about it, hoping that it was longer because I put a note down that this would be, out of all the episodes I'd seen, this was movie length potential.
Yeah.
So it was a strong story. And also funny how I wrote for almost all of them something from my childhood it reminded me of.
What this? Yeah.
This one was Battle of the Planets. I knew those.
Oh, okay.
Astro Boy and Battle of the Planets, pretty similar animation, but this one just with the flowing and the jumping and floating through the air. They kind of did that in that cartoon, but no, I really enjoyed it. I like those pimped out double TIE fighters, of course.
Oh yeah.
And the music was really cool, and I did enjoy the flashbacks too.
The one thing I forgot to
I was
mention
gonna say-
was the security droid was also a fun.
Oh,
addition.
Terminator.
Yeah.
The music was like that too. I think they almost like pulled music from T2 when he was like crawling around.
I didn't really catch it here because, like I said, it was actually hard to get clips because I think because it's so new. But you can kind of see it here, and then I thought I got another one. That's not. I think it was like here, kind of a little bit in the back, where I got like really. And I don't mean this in a negative way at all because they don't make cartoons like that anymore. But I got kind of at times a very heavy what would it be like a Disney one that you would see that almost come out into like the VHS, and it would be the huge budget like Little Mermaid. It would be more like Anastasia or more like one of those where it almost had a Disney vibe to me at times when they would go to certain parts back there because it look at that hand drawn kind of like 90s hand drawn cartoons. And that's the part I really did like about this was I was getting those kind of like Disney movies that are really good that you remember, but they're not like there's like 7 that are like the biggest Disney movies ever. I definitely was getting those kind of vibes.
They're going to like the roots of animation.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Their inspiration. Yeah.
All right. So what number are we on now? I've lost track.
Episode 7.
I thought so. Okay. I had it pulled up here. Episode 7. Make sure I get to the beginning here. Episode 7. All right. So episode 7 is the Bandits of the Golak. Fleeing from their village by train and pursued by ferocious Imperial forces, a boy and his force-sensitive younger sister seek refuge in a vibrant and dangerous Dahaba. Really cool. Oh, here's my take. Really cool art, brother-sister story. This is from 88 Pictures in India. This is one of the ones that I was saying that I enjoyed because it showed culture from somewhere. And I think the reason why it was so enjoyable because it was authentic. It wasn't Disney trying to like force it. It was from India, and they did a really good job. I found this interesting. I freaking love that bad guy. That bad guy, the evil witch of the West or whatever. This guy was freaking. I thought he looked amazing. And at the see if I can kind of back it up here. And at this part where he's talking to him, I couldn't really get the full clip because again, Disney loves me. Over here, where he's talking to him, he drags it like that. He's actually dragging them closer to him as he's talking. And it's so intimidating because look at him. And he's like, I heard about some girl and we went to the farm. And as he's talking about it, he's like bringing them closer and closer and closer. It was really intimidating. The art style at first was kind of weird, but like 30 seconds into it, I was digging it. I thought it was great. I mean, what annoyed me about it is that classic, the kid keeps causing problems and they just can't stop showing their force in public. Yes, I'm about sick of that nonsense. You've almost got your brother killed 4 times. Stop getting the flute out of his back pocket. Stop getting candies off the train. Everyone's freaking out every time you do it. Stop. I mean, this one probably also made the stories a little more predictable. Like nothing was surprising, honestly. Like I guess we're supposed to be a twist, but not really. Like it kind of nothing really surprised me on it. Didn't mean it wasn't great. I thought it was good. I thought the bad guy was awesome in it, but I think all the bad guys in this were pretty good. They did a really good job with all of them. So I think that's it. Kachung, what do you think? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I think I might know what's on the bottom of it.
Okay, the lightsaber battle saved it for me. I wrote down Omega. Would you believe?
Yes. No. I did get those vibes.
Yeah. The animation was it was it was good, but it was clunky. It was I don't know if it was like that jumpy Gumby look. but in a better animation style. The story was kind of cheesy for me, but the animation,
predictable, yeah.
the bad guy was cool. That was impressive with the, him using the force. But what did I write? I wrote the saber battle gave it one more than it should have got.
Listen to
I
him.
think we know what's his bottom. Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, all right.
That's it.
What do you think, Canadian?
I did like the villain. I thought he was pretty great, and I always love seeing the Purge Troopers. They did a great job with that. Yeah, the girl was giving me a little bit. You give me those Omega vibes. I was going, oh man. After the second thing she did on the train. But overall, I would say like the animation looked good. It was, my only thing was it felt very slow paced in a way. I was kind of like, okay, keep going with the story, and it was just kept very slow. Like for me, I was getting a little bored watching it because of how slow it was moving.
I think the train should have not took so long, probably.
Yes, the train took up a lot of time where it felt really slow and kind of, like grinding that way. Obviously, yeah, the lightsaber fight was good. The villain obviously is what carried it. The villain and the Purge Troopers for me were the best part.
Yeah. And like I said, the part that I did like, which is the part that I usually raise my eyebrows the most, is that it showed clearly this was from India. Clearly it was meant to be from India. And I still thought it was cool. It was neat. It wasn't. And like I said, I think it's because when Americans, let's just say it as it is, try to make a movie and they tried to say, okay, we're going to make it Indian and we're going to hire like one producer who used to live there.
He visited India for like a month.
Yeah, he visited India one time on vacation. And then I'm like, it seems weird. I enjoyed this because it was like, it did come off as authentic, even though the story was extremely predictable. And they haven't been watching Star Wars because they have to know that you're giving off some pretty severe Omega vibes there. And I was doing the best I can to ignore it, but I was like, if she shows her powers one more time, he just needs to leave her on the side of the road. Like, this is ridiculous what he's having to go through. But she's a little kid. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
All right, the 8th one.
Yes. The depressing episode.
Yeah.
So depressing.
All right. The 8th one is called, surprisingly, The Pit. It is a fearless young prisoner forced to dig for Kyber by the Empire. Plans a risky escape for him and his people. I said, I like the harsh and the bad guy and good guy mix that's going on here. This is a joint venture from the Art Shatagio, Japan, obviously, and then Lucasfilm was involved in this as well.
It had Lucasfilm directly with this one.
It did.
Yeah.
I like the animation. I'll say that. I thought the animation was cool. Like I said before, I like the fact that this is unabashedly bad guy. Basically, what happened, this is not really a spoiler because you're going to see it right there. You can see it. When they got finished digging up all the kyber crystals, they just packed it up and went home and left them in the pit. And they went back and had a coffee back at the city. You can see the city in the background there, and they just left them there. And the point is, this gentleman is going to try to climb up and get help because he believes in the goodness of people. You know how that's going to go for him in the end. At the end, you don't know what's going to happen. They're going to get out. They're going to get in. My take on it was pretty good. Honestly, this might be controversial. The rest of you, this is probably my weakest spoiler. This is probably my weakest one. Just because I liked it, but I just thought it didn't do enough. Like, it didn't do something for me, I guess. Like, it was good, but there wasn't a lot of story there. There wasn't anything. It was just watching people dig in a hole and then watching a city come up. And then I don't want to give it away, but then he tries to go to the city, he tries to escape good to the city. So I guess that's why, like, it was good. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen next. It was just kind of like there, I guess. But yeah, that's my take. What do you think? I don't know. I guess Kachung. I don't remember who went first last time.
Kachung can go next, yeah.
Me? Okay.
Yeah. What do you got? The other Kachung.
Hey, we need that Stormtrooper cosplayer on that commander, eh?
What?
We need that Stormtrooper commander cosplay with that cape.
Yeah,
That guy was a jerk, man.
He was an asshole.
They're almost like New Order looking, right?
Bit of it. I think
Yeah,
it's
they did a little
trying
bit.
to be animation. Yeah.
But I'd really like the time lapse of the city growing.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I thought that was the coolest part. But yeah, the story was kind of lacking. The animation was kind of meh as well. So not too much to say about this. The pit did remind me of Batman.
The
Remember?
Dark Knight Rises, yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to get out of the pit. Yeah.
I am the dark. All right. So, what did you think about it, Canadian? Because by your face, you're not going to have the same opinion, apparently.
No, I'm not. I enjoyed the episode. I liked it. That twist of the basically when you get that time lapse of the city or the hole getting deeper and the city being built at the same time was very cool. I love that. The commander was awesome. I loved the look of him and the animation for that. And then the reveal, that twist of when they open the shackles, you're free, and then they just leave to that city. And that shot, I was amazing. I love that. I thought that was a great. And then after the fact of what happening, I thought it was like a kind of like almost like a really solid little horror story. You get like an anthology of like some kind of like Vampirella horror comic or whatever. This is like a small and like one short story thing of horror. I like the idea of this. And I thought it was executed well. Obviously, they could have some, with the part in the city part could have been done more. Not differently, but more to it. Like you were mentioning, there could have been more going on in the episode, story-wise. But I liked it overall. I thought it was good.
I would say
not going to bottom of my list. Don't worry.
It wasn't just that they had them dig for years and then discarded
how long
them.
was it? That's the only thing I wonder. Because no one
Enough
visibly
to build up a whole city.
And no one visibly. Well, you could think cities get built pretty quick.
Here's the thing: the part that you said, which I meant to talk about, and I forgot. The fact that they unclamped their cuffs. There was no need for that. You could have just left them clamped, and you unclamped them just to give them that slight bit of hope that they were going to be released. Waited for them to cheer. And then drove off. Like that's the part that was the harshest to me.
Commander's like, wait. He sees them cheering. All right, false hope. Let's go.
Because I was like, oh, they're probably going to leave him in that hole. Like it's probably just too much trouble even getting him out of there. But once they unclamped it, I was like, oh, that's weird. I wonder what they're going to do. And they drove off. I was like, they released them just to like drive away. Like, why did they even bother doing that?
Torture and horror.
All right, so we're on. Oh, nope. I said remove. Why did you play it again? All right, so we're on to the final one here. This one I could not find any clips, so I just had to do the best I could with steals, which kind of sucks. I actually really like this one. I kind of like them all, but I like this one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just going to be stills, just so you get a feel for the animation here. Obviously, it's more of the. They took some Beanie Babies from the 90s and they made them into a show here. All right. So while you're watching that, episode 9, the last one is, I don't know how to say the name. Au Song. An alien child. Well, she's not alien on her own planet. That's weird to say she's an alien child. An alien child who longs to sing is raised by her loving but stern father to stay quiet because of her effect her voice has on the crystals in the nearby mines. I said great art and a great and unique take on force powers. This is Tigerfish from South Africa.
I was wondering that. I thought it might have been African, and the South African makes sense.
That's cool.
So basically, the overall thing about this one is this whole city or this whole little village, it's not a city, is founded because everything around them has crystals. And I think in the beginning of it, there's a little bit of words that says something happened and they've all become tainted. So they're all red, evil Sith crystals. And they mine them and then they barely get any out. They get like one every so often, like you see here. They give it to a Jedi. This is a Jedi, and the Jedi takes a long time to get it back to being a normal crystal and de-Sith it. And it's just a thing they do. They toil away in the mines. They get one or two little crystals. They give it to the Jedi. they do their best to bring them back to the light side and then go on. We found out pretty early on that when she sings, she's like a Disney princess on performance enhancing drugs. Every time she sings, the world lights up and loves her voice. And we saw a part where she was making a noise while he was trying to give the crystal to the Jedi. And when the Jedi left, he turned to her and said, "You have to be careful." And like his glove was burned because of what she was doing to the crystals. I thought that part of it was really cool. I just like the dynamic. I did like the dad and the daughter dynamic. I thought it was really cool. Maybe it's because I have a daughter. I don't know. I thought it was cool. I thought the Jedi was actually pretty cool. I thought the Jedi on this was pretty cool. I like that Jedi.
Yeah.
And I thought this is one of the most unique Force powers I've ever seen. I don't know how world breaking it is, but it's definitely
well, it's better than breathing in space and
it is better than Mary Poppins in space. But it was extremely unique that and I like that probably the most about it was just how unique they took this with it. So all right, Canadian, you're up first this time.
Yeah, I really liked that one as well. I thought it was a good episode, and the animation again. This is one of the other claymation-esque animations or stop motion, and I thought they did a good job with it. The very emotive looking characters, the father and daughter were great. Jedi was awesome, and the whenever she sang and the animation kicked in there, I thought it looked gorgeous. Yeah. Overall, and the story was good. Just nice, simple. She wasn't Omega. She wasn't like the other characters.
No. She was a good one.
It was a good one. She just liked to sing. So. Overall, I just liked it. That was a good episode.
All right, Kachong, what do you got?
Yeah, I called it puppetmation.
Puppetmation, yeah. Or stop motion, whatever.
I don't know if you noticed. I don't know why, but I kind of looked a lot at the background characters. They all really kind of cool. A lot of detail in this. So much detail that it was impressive.
It was very surprising how well they actually did. This studio did a really good job of like kind of just getting you in there and you're in the moment and you're like, you know what I mean? Like it really did a good job.
Flushing out the world. Yeah.
I loved the crystal concept that you guys are talking about. At the end, it made me think Jedis always take kids.
Yeah.
Stealing kids.
We can use this one. Yeah.
Taking them away from their planet. It wasn't Kyber, right? It wasn't the planet.
They were Kyber crystal. Oh, this was also the only episode that had like a beginning, like the Blade Runner, where it has just the text going explaining.
Yeah, they explained it a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, co something.
Colon.
And it had they're saying they said crystal, Kyber crystals.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed this one.
I would say we all know that Jedi take kids, right? We all know that they're creepy and they take kids.
We all know they kidnap with consent.
But to me, it was like this one, to me, hit more home than normal. And it was because her and her dad had such an amazing relationship. Yeah. And the best place for her, if she didn't have Force powers, is right there next to her dad. He was doing a great job raising her. They had a great relationship. And it was sad to be like, okay, on Tuesday, when dad wakes up, what is he doing? He's just going to go to the mine, get a crystal, and hope that one day she comes back and says hi. Like, this is the one that I was like, is anybody actually checking on these Jedi to see what goes on with these kids? And they keep taking them because they keep claiming that you can't make a Jedi unless they're kids. But the last like 6 famous Jedi have all not been kids. Either they were like survivors and they never got trained, and then like there's
off point,
Anakin, like there's a lot of Jedi who are like, oh, we trained them when they were like 20, like it's fine. And I'm just like, so why are we still babies, guys? Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, it made me think: do they check in on the families that they?
Nope. No payments to the families. No.
Nothing.
No, it's just you had the pleasure of having a Jedi steal your kid, my friend. You'll think it's
of her leaving too.
The talk of the village.
All right, so I think that's it. Now we'll just get to our ranking system here.
This is gonna be great.
All right, so are we going to reveal like what the worst one was and go up from there, or you just want to name off the show?
Well, from the bottom, baby. Starting from the bottom.
All right. Yeah, we started from the bottom. Now we're here. All right. So we're going to do one at a time. 3, 2, 1 reveal.
One
Nah,
at
there's
a
one
time.
at a time. All right. Kachung, what do you got? Last place. The Pit. I'm shocked. I really am. Like, holy crap.
Oh, by the way, score-wise, Kachun is rating both the animation story separately. I'm just doing it as unified look.
I put them there. Animation story 4, average 4.
We
Can we
gonna
just-
write an S next to the S to claim what this one is for you?
Also, if you want some behind the scenes really quick, 4 is equivalent to 0 because he doesn't give anything Star Wars below 4. So I'm just gonna put that out there. Like, it might have earned a 4 legitimately, but he don't go below 4. So I'm just putting that out there. Don't mean to put him out there for the whole world to know, but 4 low as it goes, baby.
Make sure that's not visible. Okay.
Oh wow, we got art and everything. Nice. You went all out for
something
this.
to cover the page up because I was doing. It for
You
the
even
bottom.
used that metal clip. Like, you really spent money on this here.
No. That's Lego. That was Lego.
All right, what's your number 9?
My number 9 is not that. It is the Bandits of Golak.
Oh wow.
I gave it a 3 out of 10 for myself.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was just a little too boring, and the villain was basically the interesting part for me.
Yeah.
Mine,
Again, not bad by any means. I just felt it was boring.
Mine was obvious. I kind of already said it. It's the Pit for me as well. I'm a little bit. I'm sorry. Are we interrupting you, sir? You got a
Yes,
phone call?
sorry.
You're making deals. I would say
He's been betting on these ranks, so he's just
he's taking odds.
I'm so sorry.
He's taking odds here. I would say I'm about a 7. I liked it. It needed more story, but I don't know what goes into it, how long they had. I'm trying to give a little bit of credit here. They might not have had as long as they wanted. Maybe they had a little more time. They could have fleshed it out a little bit more. But I don't know. It worked for me. So I would say it's a 7.
Wait. The Pit was?
No, the Pit. I gave it overall 7, but it's the worst one for me. But I gave it like a 7. Nothing's gonna go below 7 for me, probably.
Wow. That's
yeah, I like them all pretty. He said, "Wow."
We are definitely different again this time. Is he coming back?
I don't know what he's doing. I should have did what you did right now, honestly, because the I'm Your Mother one, the art is like off the chain, but the story was weak. Like,
that's what I started trying to grade him, and then I was like, wait.
Cult of Doom!
The animation and the story are very disconnected.
Yeah, I should have done what you did,
Me
honestly.
liking them or not,
All right, so let's go with you, and hopefully he'll come back at some point. What was your number 8?
Number 8, I'm Your Mother.
Wow.
So a little bit higher on the animation. I did like that a little bit more in the Pit, but the story
I don't know what to do.
The story was kind of dull too.
You can do whatever you want to, brother. You're the celebrity here, not me. Man, this is hard for me. I'm gonna go with my 8th one is going to be the Bandits of Golak. I think is going to be my number 8. And it's just because I felt like the train was slow and you could have got to the action slightly faster to me. So I'm going to go with that one. And again, a 7 probably for me. All right. Just in time, the Canadian out of breath. What is your...
I was about timing. Who, what was, did anyone reveal their ones for number?
Yeah, he already did. His number 8 is I Am Your Mother.
Interesting. I can see it for you being that low.
Yeah. Compared to what I was saying earlier, yeah.
All right, what do you got for your number 8? Mine was the Bandits. Was my number 8?
Not far off.
Yours, sir? Your number 8 is?
My number 8 is...
No controversies.
In the Stars, episode 3.
In the Stars. Interesting. That's because you got sick by the animation. Don't lie to me.
I put it 4 out of 10 for myself. Again, yeah, I thought the animation was a little too choppy. If it was smoother like the other stop motion we saw later on, I think it probably would have been more like a 6, 5 to 6.
What I was saying when you weren't here is that now that I'm thinking about it right now, is I should have did what Kachung did and just go, what did I think about the story? Who had the number one story? Give it a 10. Who had the second? Go down. Art, go down. Because there's such a big difference for me. Because and we're just gonna go to number 7, and I'll just go right here for number 7 for me. Because I really like the animation of I'm Your Mother. The story was funny and it was awesome, but it was maybe the second or most predictable one.
Yeah.
And the animation, I agree with you, at times was good for the Into Your Stars. And the story hit harder, but it's because everyone's dead. But so I don't know how deep that is if everyone dies or if it just hits harder. So I guess you convinced me that my next one, number 7, is going to be In the Stars.
Wow.
You get swayed easily over here, folks. Me and Kachuna we're rock on the money.
Yeah.
And it's going to be for story. It's going to be. I'm going to bump it up to like a 7.5 probably. The other two have been 7s, 7.5. I don't think you said what the scores were for you there, Canadian.
I said episode. My 9th rank, Bandits of Galak, was as 3 out of 10, and then In the Stars was 4 out of 10.
Jeez Louise,
these aren't bad. 5 is I reconfirmed it.
A 3 is never watch it again. And before the thing started, you said you didn't have anyone that you didn't like.
No. 5 is middle of the road. Like it's fine. 4 is like it's not like it's not there, but like he's missing something. It's missing something.
Watch it again.
3 is like I was bored. I was not like super like happy with it, but had a redeeming quality to it.
I demand that you watch these again. That's harsh. 3 is harsh, dude.
Oh, come on. Wait till you see.
Okay, who's next? I guess you. What do you got for your next one, Canadian?
Number 7 for me was episode 1, The Sith.
Okay, the daggers are coming out now.
Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous. But okay,
I put it to that because it was a 5 out of 10 for me, just middle of the road, because it was good. The animation was very unique. That was probably the biggest thing for me. But there wasn't much to it in the episode for me. It was a little much just her walk around, matching the art, and then running away from the Sith, and then fighting her master for about 5 seconds, and then it was over. I really liked it, but it was just middle of the road for me. There wasn't much going on to the episode that would have made me like it more than the others.
All right. Chung, what do you think? Number 7?
For me, number 7, this is a good example of the animation and story disconnect. Bandits, I gave it a 7 on animation, but only a 4 on the story. So it averaged out to about 5.5.
It's weird how different all 3 of us are. Like I like the animation, and you were like, it literally made me sick. Like it's really weird. Like that shows how hard it is to make these. Honestly,
you can't make any of us happy. So
all right, Kachuk, you're gonna hit us right back again with number 6.
All right, Lord. I'm sure the daggers are gonna come out again.
You're absolutely crazy. You are drunk, sir. You are drunk.
Reach.
Oh my god, that hurts me almost as much as the first season.
Good animation, good story. Okay.
Put the alcohol away. You are abusing your alcohol right now. That's abuse.
Hits different, I'm sure.
But I think, the more I thought about it when we were talking about it earlier, that's when I said, "Hey, if I saw these again, I'd probably."
Maybe you should go back and watch it right now. It's only only like 12 minutes. You could watch it in the time we go over the next one.
Just the last a minute of that doesn't deserve those scores you gave it. Probably, even if you just fast forward the last minute.
I love.
All right,
the witch was great. The witch was awesome.
What do you got, Canadian?
Makes me laugh so much that you put that there. I put Journey to the Dark Head, episode 5, as my number 6. Okay. I gave that.
You're as drunk as he are. You were drinking before the show too.
6 out of 10. I liked it. I mean, the girl could have been a little better. The boy could have had some more stuff going on too, but I did like it. Again, the animation was good. Villain was good. Story was interesting. It was just the one thing that got me as well was the voice acting. Almost like that one first season. There was some of that voice acting was a little hurtful in the.
You shouldn't drink while you watch these shows. I'm gonna tell you right now. That's just
It's a good thing we are. So me and Kachun are gonna have our while. Will we have Kachun? Do you think we'll have one episode that's the same?
Never. Like me and you are pretty close. He's all over the place. Kachun, he was drunk. He had Foster's or something.
That first season, I loved the twins, and you guys hated it.
Oh, that was the worst. All right, so my next one, I'm not sure what number we're on. Mine, as much as I just told him he was silly, is the Sith. Just because I guess I'm just not as cultured as Kachung. I guess I just don't have an artistic ability about myself, because the first 2 minutes I was squinting, turning sideways, standing upside down, trying to figure out what the hell was going on. So maybe it's just because I'm a filthy Texan. But the art was just weird for me. And by the time it started getting really good, it was over. That's how it felt for me. Like the moment I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. And then boom, we're done. So
I just realized something, Kachun. How could the pit be the lowest on your ranking when there was a guy rock climbing up the entire thing? How could that have been the bottom?
I didn't even cross my mind.
He sold all the way out.
It was, yeah.
It didn't even make it for him.
Didn't make any sense.
All right, Canadian, you're up next. What's number? What are we on? 5, 4?
Number 5. This will be familiar.
Number 5.
Because it is I Am Your Mother.
Wow, that's pretty high for you.
No, it's the middle. It's like the halfway point. I like the episode. I like the art style of the company. Humor was good. I love the jokes. Again, yeah, the biggest thing was the story. Was it all there? It was just basically very simple kids, as we know. But I thought it was the fun little jokes and the quality of the animation that did it for me.
Yeah.
I gave it a 7 out of 10, by the way. Sorry, 7 out of 10.
Wow. I'm not up to 7 yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kachung. What's your next one? I'm just trying to figure out. I didn't write these down.
Did you give yours? Oh wait, yeah, you did. We're at number 5 now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 5 in the stars.
There it is.
There it is.
I'm getting a little nervous.
Getting nervous. Yeah, 7 on animation. I gave 7 on animation a few. And then 6 on story, so about 6.5. Yeah.
I have a question. I'm a little bit confused. Have I picked In the Stars yet?
You put it, yeah, after I mentioned it. When I mentioned it at number 8,
yeah, you did too.
you mentioned it for number 7.
Because I was like, it needs to be down there. So if I haven't said it yet, I'm having problems right now because that should have been down there. Okay.
With the TIE fighter, come on.
Yeah, that already gave him the 2 points. That was 2 points on his scale.
Yeah.
All right, now it's getting to the controversial part. We're getting it almost to the top 3.
There are a couple that are still waiting on both.
Yeah, there is 2 that have not been mentioned at all yet. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking and I didn't think I was going to put it here, and I don't like the fact that this is happening. But mine is I Am Your Mother. That's going to be my 4th one. I like the humor in it. I really like the art, but I don't know. It might have even been lower, honestly, if I had done it the way Kachung did. I blew it on that one. I really think so, because there's some this is getting it strictly because I like the humor and I really like the art, but the story was lacking. So I guess the humor would go into the story. So yeah, that would be my number 4. Would be wait a minute 5. 5. Sorry, we're at 5.
You're 5. Sorry.
5. Sorry.
We're the same on number 5 then.
Yeah. That is my number 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to figure out. Sorry.
He's doing it on the fly, he's
yeah, because it's not. Oh yeah. Okay, I know. Okay, I'll go ahead and go. So we're at number 4.
Yep.
And this is actually pretty hard for me because I don't feel good about any of these, if I'm being honest. As far as who I want to go next, I don't feel good because I kind of like them all. So I could probably, depending on what I'm drinking that night, I might even switch up my number here. Number 4 for me is The Spy Dancer. I thought it was great, but like I said, I thought it was the one, which is bad because why would it knock it for that? Because that's the one that I want to know more about. But at the end of the day, I was like, hey, where's the rest of this? There needs to be episode 2 and 3, which seems weird, But yeah, so that's why I was saying I'm not really thrilled about putting it at number 4, but I think I'm going to put it at number 4. It would be Spy Dancer for me.
Gotcha.
All right, Canadian, what do you got?
I have Aosan at number 4. I gave it a 7 out of 10 as well. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I had a fun story. Good stop motion animation, just like I Am Your Mother. Great dynamic between the father and daughter. The Jedi was good. Overall, just a really good episode. Like, I liked it. I just thought the story was better than the I Am Your Mother and I both had a 7 out of 10, but I just thought the story was so much better. And actually a story, so that bumped it past it for sure.
All right, Kachung, what do you got?
Check it out. Bam. All 7.
There we go.
There it is.
Finally have one in common for once.
All 7.
Oh, I was hearing your Hans when I was talking, so I had a feeling. Finally, we share a good. It was a 7 as well. You gave it a 7. I didn't even acknowledge that.
All 7s.
Triple 7.
All right, let's just go right there. Why'd you give it a 7? I guess you'd say just.
Oh, me? Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I really love the crystals. how the Force her song and the Force interacted with the crystals, and the animation was neat. And I thought that relationship, it was probably the strongest relationship in all of the episodes.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's just go to the next one then. You're right there.
All right. I don't know if you remember what 3 are left for me, but
I didn't want to keep track yet.
Journey. Yep. 7.5. I gave it an 8 for story. I love.
What's that 5 above the head?
That's the episode number. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I realized you had.
I forgot to put episode numbers in.
And I guess I can go now. We're at third.
Yep.
This is third place, right?
Top 3. This is our top 3.
It's hard for me. I really like this. I 100% think it's because I'm a dad, and it's going to be the song. That's my number. That's my number 3. 1, 2, 3 is hard. It really is. But I'll go with the song. I'll go with the Crystal Girl. That one's hard for me. But all right, what do you got there? Canadian number 3. Don't screw up.
Top 3. This one is my other 7 out of 10 as my last 7 out of 10 here. I'm laughing already because it was the one Kachun put at the bottom.
Oh my God. I didn't realize you had that. You're drunk. That is not number 3. I knew you grunted funny.
I liked how simple and a horror kind of aspect to it.
Morbid.
Fun, morbid. Very simple. I just liked it. I mean, there's my answer. You heard my response when I talked about the episodes.
It was
ridiculous. He's drunk,
wasn't it?
I can confirm that he was heavily drinking before the start of this thing too. I can definitely confirm that.
The Stormtroopers are pretty good. You gotta lie.
All right, Canadian, let's just go. Hit it. You're next.
All right. Now this is where it's gonna be fun. This is gonna be really interesting.
We already know what it is. It can only be 2.
Well, yeah, but which
and
one? They gave them both the
rating.
same score. It is. If I can fold this right.
They got the same score, so they're both 1.
Yeah, both of this. No, well, one edge hedges the other one just for an aspect. Number 8 is the Spy Dance, or number 2 is the Spy Dancer.
Nice.
I really liked the episode. It surprised me. The animation was great. The story was great, and the twist at the end was also great. Left me wanting more, which in my book is a good thing, not a detractor from an episode.
It is for me. It was like, yeah, that was probably the one that I think could go on and have more episodes. Yeah. But it just I guess emotionally, it didn't get it as much as some of the other ones probably for me. All right, what do you got, Kachung, for your number 2?
Bam! Happened again. Story. I love this story.
Get some fresh minds up there. What are you doing?
Animation.
You had a higher score to me.
Really? I mean, well, that just leaves one more.
I know. I could tell which is your one, and that makes me laugh too.
My number 2. I've flipped it twice now, 3 times maybe even. My number 2.
Once you speak it into the world, it is known.
It is. That's why it's hesitation here. Journey to the Dark End, I guess, will be my number 2. Thought it was great. It was the animation I was looking for. I liked everything about it. Maybe it was just because there was a big time jump, honestly, between the little girl looking at stones and then she became a mechanic. I didn't really understand. Actually, after I watched it and I read the thing, I was like, mechanic? When did she become a mechanic? Like, I saw her working on stuff, but there was a time jump, kind of made you like disconnect from her a little bit. And you got a little bit of the thing. But I guess it did the worst job of making me feel for the characters. So if they both had died, I would be like, that's a tragedy. I would have been like, oh, but it sounds like I'm making it worse because I'm probably being more negative right now. But I liked it. So that means we're at the number 1.
Yes. If anyone's kept track of who's at where, I know where Kachun is. I don't know where you were at number 1 because I lost track as well.
I do. I've already. Mine was pretty low for that one, but
keeping it real. I'll go ahead and say it number 1, and it is the only list that matters. Mine is the only one that is correct, and it is Screechers Reach. Ghost story from Ireland, baby.
All right. Does that mean I go next? Because mine,
in hindsight, I probably would.
We know what the Canadians and 99.9% of the people who watch this, number 1 is Screechers Reach.
I fell in love with it. I thought it was gorgeous. This is the only one, I'm telling you right now, this is the only one where I actually want to now go to that studio's website and see what other stuff they worked on and watch that as well. Albeit from Star Wars. I gave that an 8 as well. I thought it was great, gorgeous. The twist, I want to say the twist now because it was so good. Should I?
Oh yeah. There's all of like 1 people watching us.
Yeah,
so
no one watching.
It'll be a good time.
Yeah, I love the twist of it being like the ghost was actually a Sith lady in the cave, and then kills her, and then the Jedi who's been speaking to her, telling her to do this thing and get her this deed done, and then wants to take her away from the planet from her friends. Basically has her do do the dirty work for her. Don't think it's no Jedi. I'm do thinking it's a Sith.
Yeah.
Because what Jedi would have a child do that and look in all
the key to it is that the whole time she was holding this medallion of some religion we didn't know about, and asking for faith and asking for strength and asking for all this stuff, and at the end we find out it's actually a communicator and she's literally talking to this person that comes and sees her later that is very red glowing and very very questionable eyes and stuff, and she probably just got tricked by a dirty old Sith.
Yep.
All right, Kachung, what mistake did you make at number 1?
I don't understand you guys. No, I think Screechers Reach probably would go up a little bit for me. Now that I think about more.
Where did you put it again?
I had it as
like
number
8.
6.
Okay, yeah. Oh, 6 is not bad. I thought it was lower than that for some reason.
I remember it being lower, but just to remind you, mine was at number 7, so not far off from yours as well.
See, that's why
That's so weird that you like it that much.
The first, so I don't know. I think it could have been partly because it was the first one, and I was mesmerized by it. I really loved it.
I do think if you're like an artistic person, you think with that side of your brain, you probably really, really like that. Probably, I would assume.
Yeah, and it just hit me in all the right ways from start to finish. So, and it was hard to see any of these others and not think about that. So I just kept going back to it.
Were you just like cheating on all the other ones because you kept going back and thinking about Sith?
Yeah.
You're not Sith. You're not pretty like Sith.
There.
No, so I think in hindsight now, thinking about all of them again and the way we've talked about them a lot more, I think the first 2 I may end up switching because I loved Spy Dancer. And I may end up loving it more because the story was more impactful.
But that means that we're not going to have the same ranking for it when we.
I know. I'll keep to this.
I would definitely say, not to whiff and waff, but I think the more I'm sitting here thinking about it, it doesn't make sense that I'd say the one that I want to watch more episodes of is Spy Dancer. and then I had it so low. So if I
That
probably had
killed
wrote
me.
it down
You
and
said
looked
that.
at
I
it,
was like,
I would have. If I did what I said everyone should do was write it down so we could have it for later, and I didn't spend all my time making silly clips, I probably would have had it lower higher because it doesn't make sense. But here was the problem that I had with it. I didn't think any of them were bad. I really didn't. None of them. I enjoyed all of them.
Yeah, hindsight, nothing.
And
was
so
bad.
like my lowest was a 7, my highest was an 8. Like they were all pretty close. And I've watched them twice, and maybe that's why, because I watched them a second time, knowing what I was getting ready to see. So I was able to look more stuff in the background, look more stuff on the thing, because I always have to watch everything 2 or 3 times for clips. So that's probably why, honestly, that it worked out for me.
Man, you would have had a hard time like ranking them 7.1, 7.2, 7.3, all the way to 8.
Yeah, I was gonna say, mine even got like 3 were the same number, and that top 2 were the same number. You had a hard time, but I'm happy. But I'll put the list up again, Kachun, so y'all can see how wrong either of us are.
And I even found my season 1.
Yeah, I remember your season 1 because you had.
I believe you were just as drunk then as you were now.
Where is? Yeah, my favorite. It was.
The twins is outrageous. The twins is the most outrageous thing on that list.
I remember you screaming about that. I remember correctly looking at the list here. The Elder was my number 1, I believe. The Elder was the one with the Jedi and his apprentice, right?
I believe, yeah. And I believe when he pulled up that Elder, I think you walked off the set. I think you were like, no, I can't do this.
I had a stroke, I think.
I cannot work with this gentleman.
Well, I remember Tatooine Rhapsody was like halfway up my list, or near the midway point, and you guys lost it when I brought that up.
That was bad.
Outrageous.
You two have gotten drunk on several occasions while watching these. It doesn't make any sense to me.
But Forlom with the Gatling gun, that just blew it out of the water. And that was the first episode too.
Mm-hmm.
They come in strong with these seasons.
Yeah, you definitely. Yeah, so funny comparing the two.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait for season 3 of Visions when they eventually do that, and another reviewing of that. This is always fun. This is probably my favorite things we do.
Now I'll be expecting the first episode to be the best one.
Yeah, if I had to like do a bingo card for it, it's 100% episode 1's gonna be Kachun's number 1 pick.
All right. Well, we're gonna that'll be the end of it. That is our review of Vision Season 2. I want to thank everybody for watching, and we'll catch you next time.